Hey, it's Darlene. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a one-page layout, kind of completing my Grand Canyon pictures. So I cut those pieces right there with the Cricut, and I just searched for plateau. This came up and I separated and changed the colors. So I really like the way that looked. I also created that title with the Cricut. And again, pretty simple. Looked for the words, and then I added the offset to for a base for those letters and words. So this is a postcard, and I plan on doing a flip flap because I do have two more pictures that I want to include, and I'll show you at the end what that flip flap looks like. But it really does help when you're trying to condense lots of photos into one layout. And so with this layout, I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I did create a kit for a lot of outdoor and hiking layouts that I did earlier, and so I really am trying to go through those, look through embellishments, papers, scraps, things like that to complete these layouts without really kind of digging into my stash. So that polka dot paper that I'm holding right now looks kind of random, but I did use that paper in a another layout that will be facing this same one. So it's kind of nice because it will help it coordinate. The base page is just a beige natural color cardstock. When we first started filming, I did have it with a green cardstock. Wasn't sure about how that looked, so I put this beige one. I really don't like it, but I'm just doing it right now. And everything I'm working on is really on that yellow page, so I'm fine with leaving it there for now. Once I start realizing which embellishments that I want, now I'm trying to figure out how do I want to put them on the page. So again, I mentioned I did want to use that polka dot paper because it does coordinate with the page that this will be right next to, even though they aren't matching in the sense where there'll be a two-page layout, but there's two single one-page layouts that coordinate. I hope that makes sense. So anyhow, like I said, I'm just kind of fussing around with some of the embellishments. I found those trees in one of the packages. One of the other trees, which you see right here, it's like a die cut. I really wanted to use that one black one. I decided not to, and I ended up pulling out this really fun green one, and also the bear that's in that packet. I got those with a swap, and the swap was done through a Facebook group that I'm a part of called RTS or Love RTS. Ooh, now I can't remember, but I'll put that link down in the information box. I'll also put a link to my blog because all of this will be on my blog, and I'll have any measurements that are needed, any specific or specific information that I feel I don't always leave on the YouTube video. But so please go click on over to there if you have more questions or need more information. You can also leave a comment here. I will answer any questions or comments, and to help you out, or if you have any questions. So that little hiking boot that I have up on that top, I really wanted to use that, which I do end up using it. Oh, before I get started with that, look at that. I decided to put that, just try that teal color, and I absolutely loved it. It really makes that yellow pop, and even the blues in the picture. Now, even though there really isn't any turquoise in this page, it just really coordinates well. But you will notice, or I notice after a while, that there is a little bit of turquoise in those mosquitoes in their bodies, so it does coordinate, I guess. But I just love the way that pops with that. Now, because that's such a unique color, I ended up gutting the middle of that paper, and to do that, I just do like an 1.5-inch border all the way around. I use my paper cutter and just basically slice the center. Now, the reason why I was able to do that is because that yellow piece of paper is still pretty thick. It's not a flimsy piece of pattern paper. It's basically like a cardstock. If you had a flimsy piece of paper, that probably wouldn't be a good idea, but it does save on paper. And I'll do this a lot, especially when it's a piece that, like, for instance, with this one, it's such a unique color, and I thought it's such a waste to cover it all. I could use it for something else. Now, I could have used it for more on this layout, but I ended up not doing any more colors, but it works out so pretty. I hope you agree. Don't you love that that contrast of that turquoise. So back to this little boot thing. Now, I was trying to build a little bit on this cluster. I do have these little journaling tags, and they actually look like travel tags. I've had these for years. I want to say they're from close to my heart, but like I said, I mean, probably at least 5, 6 years or more. Now, I'd like to do those type of tags for a cluster base, and also just to add a little bit more interest. Now, if you notice, I'm also really into like labels. So I wanted to use a label as well, but just from using that tag by itself, I knew it wouldn't work. I cut off that section on that right that said first class, and I arranged the label the opposite way, if that makes sense. So the little hole, or faux hole over on that right side, because I cut off that first class portion on that, well, which is now on the left side here. So I really want to use that label like I mentioned before, and I just kept playing with it as the whole label, and I couldn't get it to figure out a way to use it. And then I thought, duh, just cut it. So I was able to place it on there, and I didn't even have to have it completely onto that journaling tag, because I was going to put the boot and cover the gap between them. So I, again, use things like that. Cut off parts you don't like. Sometimes I even cover things, like some of these little tags or bases have words that may not coordinate, or maybe a color that doesn't coordinate. You can always cover it up with something else. So use your stuff. That's basically what I'm trying to say right here. So I just, with some regular adhesive, I don't normally use foam adhesive on my layouts because I don't like the extra bulk. Not to say that I don't do it, but I don't normally do it because of the extra bulk. But just grabbed a little word sticker there, and then I will do a little bit of journaling. I've got probably at least 3, maybe 4 layouts of the Grand Canyon, so I'm not too worried about a lot of journaling space, because there's just only so much you can say, right? But that's pretty much the complete layout. Very simple, but very cute. I do add some splatter over there in that top left-hand corner, which you see me doing right now. I think that's one of my favorite things to do. It just adds a little bit of something. And this is a brown splatter, and so it's more natural colors, things like that. So I hope you like this, and if you do, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and oh, this is the flip flap, what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to put it on right now, because basically what you do is you put the layout in the sleeve, and then you adhere the flip flap to the outside of the sleeve. And because the adhesive is clear, you don't really cover any of your photo or whatever it is that's underneath. But again, I hope you like this, and thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.